How's this work?
That is a good question. Hang on, let's consult the book. Let's consult the guide here.
Oh, here it is.
Yeah.
Recording.
Celebrating 50 years of Flyers hockey.
Voracek stepping in front of the backhand. He scores! Giroux. The Gosses for the shot. He scores! Here's Simmons turning with it. A shot. He scores! Wayne Simmons again. Pure determination.
Now, Andy Robb, Ken Prell, the Philly Hockey Guys.
Hey,
We're okay.
we're here.
We're gonna have to come clean. I don't think we should ever be like, we'll be back with a new episode next week.
We can't make that kind of commitment.
That's been the longest week ever. But then again, Ken and I have just been hiding out in a bunker underground trying to figure out if what we're living in right now is actually reality.
I don't think it is reality.
Wow. Interesting couple weeks.
It has been.
Not only for hockey, but
for the country as well.
Yeah.
And pro wrestling, WWE.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
We had to bring back the Goldberg intro
We
again.
had to use the Goldberg thing. Yeah, that's right.
He beat Brock Lesnar in, a minute and a half?
That was fantastic. And I don't usually watch wrestling, but once I heard about Goldberg coming back and doing that, I was like, it would be really hilarious if they made it like the old days where he would just beat somebody in like a minute.
And that's exactly what Vince McMahon did.
Yeah. So, welcome to the Philly Hockey Guys podcast. Yes, it has been a while since we last spoke to you, and we do apologize for that. It has been a little crazy, but then again, we've also been just terrified.
It's been about a month since we've done a show.
But you know what?
What's your name again?
I'm Ken Prell.
Oh, so that makes me Andy Robb.
Oh, no, wait. Oh, yeah, that's
Or is
right.
it the other way
Yeah,
around?
I'm Andy.
Oh, I'm Ken.
Okay, so I'm just gonna open the show with just saying I just don't get this team. I know I don't understand if they want to be good, if they want to be bad, if they want to be somewhere in between, because people are contributing, and then you take a couple steps backwards with people not contributing, and it is a very strange team to be a fan of. You know,
their record is 8-8-3. That's who they are right now. They're a 500 team. You're going to get good periods. You're going to get bad periods. I mean, that's just exactly who they are. The one thing is that, remember last year they started off so poorly and started to get things going after the holidays once the new year hit. So that's what I'm kind of hoping for this year.
sure.
Because they're a little bit younger of a team this year. So I think the inconsistency is to be expected. But, man, when you're watching these games, they are very, very frustrating.
They can be very frustrating to watch and very, very tiring at times because you're just like, do I want to cheer or do I want to yell at my TV? Like, I don't know. It's just been a strange couple weeks for watching this team. With having Neuwirth being injured now, that certainly doesn't help.
Yeah, you're probably not getting him back till after the new year at this point.
Which could bode well for Stolarz finally possibly getting the opportunity to get his NHL start. But
well, I think if you look at it since the injury, you look at Steve Mason and the way he's played. I mean, I think he's really kind of stepped up. He's played fairly well. I mean, he gave up that kind of a weak goal Tuesday night against Ottawa that then led to overtime. But
he immediately owned up to that one, too, I think, during press conference afterwards.
Well, he actually skated out. He didn't talk to reporters right after that game. That's how frustrated he was. But, yeah, the next day, kind of owned up to it and said he had to make that save. And, he played really well against Winnipeg. And he played good against Tampa over the weekend. And they just didn't get any offense.
Yeah, the defense played great, I think, against Tampa as well.
So I think now what you're seeing, again, it goes back to that inconsistency where earlier in the year this team was losing, it seemed like every game 5-4. Now the scoring is down a little bit. The power play has been downright awful the past week.
Yeah, it really has been.
So they got to get that fixed, and then again continue to shore up things on defense. I'll tell you what, Provorov, I think he looked great on Saturday. Looked possibly like the best Flyers defenseman out there. So I think you're starting to see him get his game tuned a little bit. And, again, the defense, I think, again, it's slowly coming along. And once you get guys back like Del Zotto, they finally got him back. So I think they'll be all right. And I think as long as Steve Mason, keep improving.
Yeah.
That's he can't be as bad as he was earlier in the year.
Yeah, and certain other aspects need to tighten up. Another interesting point that, since we're on goaltending and defense, another thing that has been frustrating over the past few games facing these Flyers is that, having a 19-year-old defenseman having to bail out 38-year-old Mark Streit on some repeated instances, it seems. And, once, a couple times you look the other way, but it just seems to be happening more and more that he almost, for lack of a better words, gets dragged down by some of the people he's paired up with.
Again, remember, you're talking about a guy who's 38 years old in Streit, who had a pretty significant injury last season.
Yeah.
When he came back, you could see he was visibly slower, and it looked like, like with everything, age catches up. And that's what we're seeing, and I think Flyers really have no choice but to pair those two together. And the good news is Provorov's play has gotten a whole lot better.
Certainly has been, ever since that one particular game a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, but Streit, he's not going anywhere. He's making $5 million a year, so it's not like you can dump him off. If there was a chance for that, it would have been last year around the trade deadline, but they couldn't. Hakstol couldn't do anything at that time because of the injury. So.
Yep.
I think you're kind of stuck with them. Maybe Las Vegas will take him in the expansion draft.
They could
take him and McDonald away from us. That would be very nice.
All right, let's not go too crazy. Yeah, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, and I hope Andrew McDonald goes and stays there. But it probably won't happen. Hey, speaking of which, real quick before we get into anything else.
Ooh, breaking news.
That's right. For tonight's game against the Florida Panthers, Andrew McDonald is in. Scratched is Michael Del Zotto.
They're scratching Del Zotto.
Real disappointed.
I don't get it.
No, well,
I'm not going to turn on Hakstol.
If we want to talk about healthy scratches, let's go back to the decision last week that Hakstol made. Yes.
Okay. Let's go back to that.
It kind of shocked everybody because I think Ghost has probably been your most consistent defenseman this year. I don't think there was any real sophomore slump. So I was kind of surprised by it. Now, is this Hakstol sending a message to Ghost, or was this an overall message to the team, or does this team just have too many subpar defensemen? You got to keep rotating people in and out. And that's what's happening again tonight with Del Zotto being a healthy scratch.
I wish I had like a way to answer this, but I really don't. I don't have a way to answer this. It's very interesting.
Are you questioning Hakstol's coaching method, style?
Not like, we're not going to make it a black and white thing. I'm not going to be like on one side or the other. I'm kind of in the gray. I'm cautious in some ways, but I still think that he knows what he's doing. So I'm not going to, say one thing or the other. Every decision he makes is terrible. I'm not in hockey operations. I'm not a coach. I don't fully understand that kind of stuff. But on the other hand,
it was a puzzling decision to sit Ghost.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. There has been some decisions, over the past few weeks that have kind of make you, raise your eyebrow a little bit and just go, all right, okay, if that's what we're doing.
Yeah, Ghost this year, 3 goals, 7 assists. He is a -5. But then you look at some of the other Flyers. Giroux's a -9, Voracek's a -8, Simmons is a -6, Shen -6, Couturier -5. So
wow.
There's a lot of minuses there.
That is,
so,
yeah.
To single out Ghost and sit him down, again, to Ghost's credit, he came back and played very well on Saturday.
Oh, what was the other point that you brought up, though? When Gostisbehere was scratched, the Flyers won.
Oh, yeah. That's right. I did text you right away and say, that's it. Get rid of Ghost now.
You see?
Let's get rid of him because, the game he was scratched. The Flyers did probably play one of their better games, beating Winnipeg 5-2.
That was a good game, though, too.
Yeah.
But, I'm not going to pin that all on him.
Oh,
And
no,
now-
not at
and
all.
now some
But wasn't
idiot-
the message sent that, the Flyers came out and played a game?
Sure. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I'm not going to, I'm not going to be on one side of the fence or the other when it comes to Hakstol and his, coaching decisions.
I'll tell you one decision that's been kind of driving me nuts with Hakstol is the lack of play Konechny's getting in the third period.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought this up because I
and
was
in
actually
overtime.
thinking about this too.
Because, I understand that Konechny's probably got some defensive deficiencies. Okay, if you want to sit him, you have the lead. I can understand that. But he's
But
one
then
of
he
your
put somebody like Van de Velde out.
Yeah, but I mean, Konechny's you're probably your most dynamic skater out there. Gives you some speed, gives you some definite scoring options. The question, he didn't play at all in the overtime against Ottawa on Tuesday night. That's an opportunity 3-on-3 where you can take advantage of his skill, his speed. I'd want him out there over, I wouldn't even worry about the lack of defensive skills that he's still working on. I want him out there. I want to see what he can do.
Yeah, every game's a learning experience. I just think, it's interesting that, I think that it's like, well, if you're not going to put Konechny out, why are you going to play like somebody like Van de Velde for your first shift of overtime?
Does he have pictures of somebody?
I don't know. I wish I could make a joke out of it, but I'm just like, there's some things that I'm not completely understanding.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to knock Van de Velde, like whatever. I'm sure he's a great guy and stuff, but like,
well, he is
there are
what
better
he is.
options.
That's the problem. There's better options out there. Like I said, I understand if you have a lead in the third period and you want to play some of your more better defensive forwards.
Yeah.
Absolutely makes sense. But if you got a chance to, if you're tied or trailing, you got to put your most dynamic scorers and talent out on the ice. It's just like I said, this whole season, again, there's times when they look really good, and there's other times where you just scratch your head, shake your head, and it's been a very frustrating season. And
frustrating, confusing,
and it explains why they're a 500 team.
Yeah, because it's reflective of all that stuff. Personnel decisions, who gets scratched, who plays what minutes, and. It really comes down to production, I think, for just everybody almost at this point.
Yeah, and, again, you're coming off a shutout on Saturday. You got Florida tonight. You got the Lightning again tomorrow night. So it doesn't get any easier for the Flyers this week.
Yeah, it's got to be a tough pill to swallow, that you're coming off of a shutout with Tampa. Now, obviously, widely, touted as being one of the top teams of the East this year, but still.
They are a really good team and a deep team. They're without Stamkos again.
They're without who?
Stamkos. That's
Stamkos.
right. I pronounced his name wrong.
You got to go the Hulk Hogan route.
That's right. But the biggest thing for the Flyers right now is fixing that power play. 0 for their last 10. They were 0 for 5 on Saturday.
Hey,
that can't happen.
Yeah, I like, by the way, in our notes here, I like what our little headline for the power play. Go ahead. What is it?
Power outage.
That's fantastic.
It is.
That's
good.
See,
every once in a while, I get a little creative.
That is good.
Don't expect too much for the rest of this episode, though.
You could write headlines for NHL.com. Speaking of which, speaking of the internet, follow us at Philly Hockey Guy. We tweet sometimes.
Yeah, it's kind of fallen off a little bit, but
God,
we'll try to get back
into it. You just
it.
want to do a podcast, and there's all these other blogs and stuff. I don't know how they do it, how they update their Facebook, how they tweet, how they post all this stuff. It's like, my God, people, it's hard to stay on top of it. It's hard to watch the game and try to get a thought out on Reddit.
Well, see, and we've talked about this before that, we're here in central Pennsylvania, so the games get blacked out here. So usually we're scrambling around to find some streaming.
Yeah, we are not multimedia wizards here.
No, so if I find a good stream on my phone, then I can't tweet. So
yeah,
it gets very difficult.
Yeah, but we are there. So you tweet to us. We'll get back to you in between the span of 24 to 136 hours.
I like that. Yeah,
maybe even longer.
That makes sense. Yeah. Considering it's taken us a month to do a show.
So I know, but it's been real tricky as of lately. But the way that this team has been playing, it's just been like, man,
it's their fault.
There are many.
If they were playing a little bit better, we'd be more excited and we'd get in the studio more often.
Oh,
so
Jesus!
This is on you, Flyers.
Now you're making us sound like Penguins fans. Well, they're not winning, so what do we care? when are the playoffs? God damn it. No, seriously, though.
Can we make this our New Year's resolution? Is it too early to do that?
What's the New Year's resolution?
To do more shows in the new year?
I'm telling you. I mean, if we were able to, we would have. It's been a very tough couple weeks here.
That's the problem with having, jobs that actually pay us versus this. We have to kind of pay attention to the jobs that put a roof over our heads.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, you know how that is. So, I mean, I'm not worried about, anything that the Flyers are facing right now. I'm not really concerned so much, but I'm just kind of thinking in the back of my head, it's like, all right.
The tone of your voice says something completely different.
Something's got to give, though. Something's got to change up a little bit. And call me crazy, but keeping McDonald in the lineup, I'm pretty sure isn't that fix that you're looking for. Why the hell would you scratch Del Zotto? He's been playing great the last couple weeks since he's come back. I don't know about great.
He's been playing okay, but he's, again, a guy coming off an injury, trying to get his skating legs back. So, yeah, sitting him, I don't know if that's such a great idea, but that's what Hakstol's going to do. So,
yeah, I of course we can't argue with it, but that just doesn't seem like the best course of action. I mean, has McDonald really, contributed enough to something that, shows him to Hakstol that he needs to be on this lineup night in and night out? Because I'm not understanding.
$4.7 million.
That's probably only got to be it. How much you're making a year?
Yeah. I mean, that's it. You're paying this guy. I guess you have to play him if he's taking up a roster spot.
I guess. I mean, but man, wow. So things will turn around eventually. I hope at some point. Oh yeah. Speaking of which, there's the what about the old rumor mill?
Rumor mill? What'd I miss?
I think you've seen this one. Shane Gostisbehere with Montreal Canadiens.
What? Where did this even come from?
This is I don't know, some rumor.
Is this like a Canadiens website?
It's got to be fake.
That started this rumor?
Now,
because that's the only way it makes sense.
Now, I saw this on Flyers Nation. They're talking about the potential rumor of trading Gostisbehere to Montreal. Can I have your attention for just 1 second?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because this is impromptu. I wasn't even planning on it.
All right.
It's time for a quick rage-inducing Facebook comments. Here's what it says about this is on the Flyers Nation page about the trade for Shane Gostisbehere to Montreal. Are you ready?
Yep.
Here we go. They should trade that effing douche Giroux.
Oh, my God.
No.
Okay.
So sick of watching that guy just glide around out there, not hit anyone, turn pucks over. Worst captain in Flyers history. Get rid of G.
4 goals, 13 assists, 17 points. Is a constant leader, always going over, coaching up the young guys on the bench when there's a mistake, winning faceoffs. I mean, I don't know what more you could want from Giroux this year. Again, you look at Voracek's numbers, you look at Simmons' numbers,
Simmons! Man.
I mean,
is this the segment where we just take a minute to talk about how great he is and how I never want him gone?
Again, he's got 16 points on the season, 9 goals already. I mean, on the power play, the guy is basically unstoppable. But back to Giroux, I don't know what more people want from this guy. I mean, it just absolutely just aggravates the hell out of me.
He should be scoring goals all the time, like the way that Crosby has been. And I hate to give the guy credit, but you know what? The guy's been scoring goals. But you know what? They're two different kind of players.
Absolutely. We've been saying, we've always said that. I mean,
shut up. What are you talking about? I can't believe he says that. Worst captain in Flyers history. No.
Yeah. It's just.
I think that's ridiculous.
I mean, I really don't know what more to really add to that except
Canadians.
To whoever wrote that on there. Just stop watching. Stop calling yourself a Flyers fan, and just stop watching the Flyers altogether because you're the type of fan we don't need.
Dude, I mean,
you're just an idiot for making those kind of comments.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. But it's like, hey, you want Gostisbehere, Montreal? All right, well, you give us Pacioretty, Weber, and Price. No, you don't want. Oh, that's too much. Well, sorry, buddy. Sorry.
How are the Flyers going to afford all that?
They got that Comcast money.
Oh, is that it? Forget about the salary cap space.
Trump's president now. Rules don't apply.
Oh, all right.
America's going to be made great again. So,
Fantastic.
I hope we'll get rid of Gary Bettman. Little Gary, okay, little Gary.
Guy's a mess.
He's a loser.
He doesn't know what he's doing.
Oh, jeez. Okay, that's enough. Reality's starting to sink in again. I did this show just to, get away from it.
What does Alex Jones think of the election results?
I bet you Alex Jones now, since they said that they're not going to pursue investigations on Hillary Clinton, the whole Hillary for prison thing.
He's going nuts.
They lied. He said they're going to put her in prison. Now they're not going to. Buy my pills, Infowars.com. This is Alex Jones here.
You got a number of compliments for your impression of Alex.
What are you talking
Jones
about?
on the last
Impressions.
show. Oh, that's right. I forgot. He's here with us.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, and that was fine. That was a parody. That was before Halloween. And now that this is all sank in.
That was before Armageddon?
I'm kind of... Armageddon, that's a terrible movie with Ben Affleck. It doesn't make any sense. That Aerosmith song is terrible. Buy my pills, Infowars.com. I don't want to close my eyes.
Okay. Oh, Alex Jones singing. Fantastic. So with the Flyers having back-to-back games, Florida tonight, Tampa tomorrow night, does Stolarz get his first start in one of these games?
I think it's all depending on how Mason fares tonight, but I could see realistically, him getting in there for a game, but then again, you never know. Hakstol might scratch him and put McDonald in goal. I have no idea. I don't know what he's going to do.
Welcome to the Philly Hockey Guys. We have no idea.
Oh, we're right 30% of the time. But no, I mean, I think it comes down to Mason's performance. He's obviously getting the start tonight.
I just thought with the back-to-back, maybe it'd be a good chance. But then again, they got Calgary coming up on the weekend on Sunday, so maybe that's a better opportunity.
Do you really
want to start him against Tampa?
Or do you want to start him against the Rangers?
That's a national TV game. I don't know if I want to put that kind of pressure.
Yeah, but the Rangers suck.
They're in first place.
They still suck. That's my logic. The Penguins suck. And they're like, oh, we won a cup. I'm like, I don't care. You still suck. Shut up.
Your logic, I'll tell you.
I'd rather be a loser in Philadelphia than a winner in Pittsburgh or a winner in Dallas.
Okay.
There you go. So,
speaking of winners, how about those Philadelphia 76ers?
They won
2-game winning streak. First time they've done that since 2014, I think. That's amazing.
I need to get my spot reserved for the parade.
Exactly.
On Broad Street.
Embiid is the real deal.
Dude, I really like that guy.
He's hilarious.
Yeah, he is. So really, back to the Flyers. These next couple games I think are going to be interesting. Kind of, I don't know. I don't even know what it means.
It's not an easy stretch of games.
Yeah.
It could say a lot about this team, or it could say nothing. Again, you don't know.
I don't know. I mean, I have no idea. It's hard to get a read on this team.
So basically, these notes are useless because we have no idea.
Hey, no. Well, I maybe kind of. No, but really, I mean, I don't know what's going through Hakstol's thought process. I don't know, what to say. Or, I don't even know what kind of stuff Hakstol's, saying in relation to those things. I don't know. But, for the people on the outside looking in, making it very confusing, very, very strange. When you're trying to get a read or trying to figure out just what exactly is their game plan right now.
I don't know. You said Reed. It just brought me back to the highlight, I think, of the week was Matt Reed's pass to Raffle.
Yes, that was fantastic.
that was so far this year, I think, the goal of the year. Just all-around effort like that.
Do you still want him gone?
Well, it depends on what I can get back in return.
For Matt Reed?
Yeah.
I mean, he's getting that, raise that trade value. Cause,
absolutely.
He has really been a valuable contributor.
But that was a hell of a hustle play. Again, he gets down there and somehow was able to get the pass over, a perfect pass to Raffle.
It was like that play when Gudis managed to, when he did that dive and he managed to
That's
stop
right.
the
Yeah,
puck from,
yeah. So there's been
some great displays of athleticism. There's been some, there's been some great leadership in many regards.
Just needed for 60 minutes every night, every game.
And that's another thing. That's another tough thing. It's like the first period just still doesn't exist. Now, granted, they did score first in the last couple games, but still, it's like, it's still not they're not playing a whole period for the first.
No, not at all.
And I think that's one of their, their big hindrances, their Achilles heel, really, that they can't just get out running and get into a groove like that for their first period starts.
And that's why it was kind of good to see the score on Thursday night against Winnipeg, where 5-2 win. You'd like to see more of that, but again, you come out then on Saturday and get shut out. So we sound like a broken record, but really just can't get a read on this team whatsoever right now. And I really hope they're more than a 500 team, but the further this season rolls along, I start to think that, this is what they are.
Yeah, I mean, really.
It's pretty much all you can say at this point.
All right, so it's still early on.
We're still only in November.
You make a good point with that. So, of course, I don't see myself hitting the panic button. I see it in the corner there, and it's underneath the glass.
It's easily reachable.
And I'm thinking about it. I'm like, this button looks really nice, but, I wonder what would happen if I pressed it. But I'm not. I'm not pressing it yet. I'm waiting. So we're just going to, I'd be like, no deal. And then you close the... And then you close the lid. So that's what I'm saying.
All right.
I'm not hitting the panic button yet. It's still too early to tell. Yeah, the Rangers are in first place. Yeah, the Penguins are in second. Yeah, the Caps are in third. Yeah, Columbus is above us. But hey, it could be worse.
What have I always said?
It could be worse.
What have I always said? All you have to do is get in. All this placing right now really doesn't matter. Once you get into the NHL playoffs, anything can happen. So that's it. Just be one of the 8.
Win, and you're in.
That's it.
That's
all they have to do.
Yeah, that's it. So, I mean, one game at a time, but I don't know. Yeah, like I said, not hitting the panic button, and nobody out there should be either. Certainly not saying Giroux's the worst captain in Flyers history and trade him.
Trade him already.
Some people online are just... But it should be an interesting next few games, and I'm not going to say we'll be back with a new episode soon. I want to be.
Before Christmas. I promise, before Christmas, we'll be back with a new show.
So coming December 24th, the next episode of the Philly Hockey Guys podcast.
We may have 1. We may have 2. I don't know.
Yeah, no, we'll have another one coming soon. We'll get through these next few games. So... I don't know. I think I think the Flyers can get a win tonight in Florida against the Panthers. I think they can, but Florida's been playing really well as of lately.
It would be good to get a split, either win tonight or if they can't win tonight,
take Tampa.
Take Tampa tomorrow. Yeah. Of course, it would always be great on Friday if they could beat the Rangers.
That would be nice too. Yeah.
That would be a good one. But we'll see. We'll see what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Is that it?
I think so.
All right.
So we're going to wrap this one up, but we will have more coming soon.
Before Christmas.
And thanks to everyone that has stuck around. We're sorry to have left you waiting for so long. We apologize about that.
All right. That'll wrap this one up for us. Hey, happy Thanksgiving.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
Yep. We got that coming up in a couple days.
Woohoo. All right.
For Andy Robb, I'm Ken Burrell. We are the Philly Hockey Guys.
Please just win some games and fix your stuff.
Thanks so much for listening, everyone. We'll talk to you before Christmas.
December 24th.
Thanks for listening. Be sure to like the Philly Hockey Guys podcast page on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter at Philly Hockey Guy. And subscribe on iTunes, TuneIn, and SoundCloud.